Hello, and welcome to another Imagine It Tech Tip. My name is Leo Levian, and I'm one of the civil specialists here at Imagine It. In this video, I will show you how to enable subassemblies to pull values from each other. The important part here is how to connect those values. This is all done from within the assembly properties. You will focus on a particular side, enable the parameter reference column, and then choose the value that you need. There's not much complicated functionality inside of here, so let's just jump directly into the demonstration. In this case, I have a corridor pre-built for us. This design is also placed inside of cross-sections, so I have some sample lines already drawn in and some cross-sections in play, and of course a typical cross-section that is driving our design. Let's focus our attention on this left-hand side here. I will push this pavement value, the width and the slope, over here to this shoulder value. And this again is done from the assemblies properties. As I go into my assemblies, I can select right-click and jump directly into the assemblies properties and focus my attention onto the left-hand side. Like I said, we'll be pulling the pavement lane to the shoulder slope. And I can focus my attention here, for example, on the width. It's currently set to 5 feet. I would like to match the 12 feet over here. Instead of typing it in, I will create a dynamic link by enabling the parameter reference column, checking the box, and tell it which subassembly I'm going to be working with. The lane, in this case, is width. I will do the same thing for the slope. I can look for the slope parameter. Currently, my slope is at 5%, and I can set that to also pull the slope. As I hit OK, that value gets pushed out. My typical cross-section is not updated immediately because my corridor has not been updated yet. So you can see how it should be running -2% now, 12%, instead of the 5 at 5 feet. As I rebuild my corridor, that typical cross-section now updates for me, and I can see the result. Let's focus on the other side, over here on the right-hand lane. Currently, I have 2 pieces of pavement, one at 2% at 12 feet, one at 4% at 10 feet. I'm only going to connect grade in this case. If I go to my assembly properties here, I can select the design of the screen, and from the ribbon in this case, I can go to the assemblies properties. And on the construction tab, I can see on this right-hand side, I have lane inside and lane outside. I would like to my lane outside connect to the lane inside for grade purposes. I can simply go here and figure out where that default slope is. Currently 4%, the inside matches at 2. And I pull the slope value. As I exit out of here, it matches my grade, and only my grade. Now that's neat. All these values are pretty much static. As I update my design, I can rebuild this typical cross-section. I can see how that changes. Whatever values happen to be connected will be pushed on each other here. So let's take a look at modifying some of these values. Starting from the inside lanes here, I can go here to my assembly or subassembly properties and start adjusting some values. What if I wanted to go at 11 feet at maybe 1.5% down? As I modify that pavement, it modifies the shoulder, which I can then trickle down to my corridor itself, and it can modify those values. Now, it depends on what you chose to connect. If I go to the subassembly properties in this case, because I know that I'm driving values from that main design, that inside, I can adjust a width here. How about I go 15 feet at -5% just to see values be changed? It depends. You don't have to connect all the values. You can pick and choose which values to push from the main out to an outer. Now let's take this one step further. Let's assign targets. And I'm going to focus on this inner side here, on the pavements. There is a feature line in this drawing on my right-hand side that I can focus to stretch this design out. And you'll see this happen inside of here. It looks like my corridor, I forgot to update it from a minute ago here. I can rebuild it. And there's my grades matching. Now let's check this out, guys. I can start looking at setting targets. We'll select my corridor and modify targets for this corridor design. And I would like to focus on the lane. And notice how the lanes highlight as I select them down this targeting list here. It highlights them in the screen for me. So I would like to focus on the lane right-hand side inside. As far as width goes, I can go to my screen here and I know I have some feature lines I'm going to push towards the right-hand side. So I'm going to set to the right-hand side. That feature line was named appropriately here. And I can stretch. And you can see how that typical cross-section stretches. Now I can also dip. I set a target for width. I can also set that feature line that does have different Z values as an elevation target. I can return to the corridor. And what I can do inside of here is for a width target, yes, I am using that feature line, but I can also use it as an elevation. Right now, it's just holding the original design, which is 5%. Let's modify that. Towards the right-hand side, I have a pre-existing feature line that I'm going to stretch out to and dip to. And as I control that here, you'll notice how the pavement gets stretched and elevated. From my original grade and width, I get a brand new width and grade, and only grade is pushed from one subassembly to the next. This is a simple example on how I can connect subassemblies to each other. Have them be actively shown on my screen, or even as I assign targeting, my assemblies can read each other. Guys, thank you for watching. Make sure to visit our website for more Autodesk related content, and if you need to, some engineering support. Have a great day.